Welcome to NTN Nightly. I'm Humadi Mark. This edition's top stories. St. Lucia's Prime Minister challenges world leaders to act decisively and save humanity. Anse La Raye Canaries constituency councils urge to leverage natural resources. And the Ministry of Health implores continued public cooperation as 9 new COVID Delta cases are recorded in country. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre has challenged fellow world leaders to act decisively and save humanity. Honorable Pierre made the remark on Tuesday, 2 November 2021, as he addressed the 26th Conference of the Parties, COP26, to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The Global Climate Conference taking place in Glasgow is the first since the 5-year review of the historic Paris Accord in 2015. Prime Minister Pierre told the world that this decade is the last chance to get on track.
Undeniably, certain changes such as sea level rise and ocean acidification are already locked in with dire consequences for SIDS and low-lying states. But we know that 1.5 degrees Celsius is still within our reach. To achieve it, we must act and act now. Countries must urgently bring forward the NDCs with 2030 targets consistent with 1.5 degree temperature goal, supported by credible net zero by 2050 long-term strategies. We must support wind, solar, and other renewable energy investments. The power to turn things around lies in our collective hands. We must be focused and resolute. We cannot waver on matters of human survival.
Honorable Pierre called on world leaders to deliver the long-term climate finance goal that was promised in Paris for mitigation and adaptation. Some $100 billion was pledged, yet to be collected. St. Lucia's Prime Minister also made a firm case for the inclusion of all nations in combating climate change.
We must also raise the profile of and mainstream loss and damage as a distinct pillar of climate action and support. It is high time that we complete the Paris Rulebook. When we bring to fruition that vital work, we can strengthen accountability and enable the highest possible ambition while ensuring transparency and environmental integrity. Colleagues, friends, we in the developing world are on the front lines, exposed. Our poor, vulnerable citizens have limited ability to respond to climate change effects, and so the quality of life is significantly diminished. As responsible leaders, can we in good conscience sacrifice humanity for industry? Will we continue to ignore the science, to gamble with the future of our youth, women, private sector and NGOs? What are the prospects for countries like Taiwan, yet to be recognized, but also confronting climate change while supporting SIDS? The young people who will inherit this planet are watching. We cannot fail them. Let us not be that generation of leaders who had the last chance to set the world on track, but choose not to put people first.
Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, as he addressed the 26th Conference of the Parties, COP26, to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Tuesday. COP26 concludes November 12, 2021. The recently installed Anse La Raye and Canaries constituency councils have been urged to leverage the resources of the constituency to generate economic benefits for residents. Lisa Joseph explains.
Parliamentary Representative for Anse La Raye Canaries, Honorable Wayne Gerard, is more than hopeful about the future of constituents as he charts a new path to improving lives and developing communities. Honorable Gerard is looking to the men and women of the Anse La Raye and Canaries constituency councils to assist in the rollout of the overall plan. During the installation ceremony, the parliamentary representative noted that a concerted effort was made to select individuals from the length and breadth of the constituency to ensure inclusivity. Honorable Gerard urged the councillors to lead by example with dignity, integrity and order. He told the councillors that as community leaders, they must begin to erode the stigma of poverty and other social ills associated with the constituency.
We need to pay close attention to the things that matter but cannot be easily measured, like human dignity, freedom from embarrassment and humiliation. We need to harness the assets within the constituency for the benefit of the constituency. We need to deal with the issues related to garbage disposal and collection, access to public washroom facilities, because we want to reserve the beach for recreation and enjoyment and not for anything else. Access to transportation in and out and around the constituency is also very important. No young person needs to fear about the future. Your fired up mind is a powerful resource. So stay tuned for the announcements that will be rolled out over the next coming days. In closing, let us dream big, start small, but begin now.
Minister with responsibility for housing and local government, Honorable Richard Frederick, called on the councillors to be mindful in the execution of duty and render assistance to those who are truly in need in order to be impactful. Honorable Frederick also encouraged the councils to adopt a business approach and be innovative in utilizing the natural resources of Anse La Raye and Canaries to the benefit of residents.
I urge you in that regard to pursue ventures that are income generating. Use government facilities if you have to. They are yours. They are under your control. Not even the district rep can stop you. Use it. Use them to make money. Anse La Raye is world renowned with its Fish Friday. Capitalize on it. Canaries is renowned for its cassava and farine and all the tetché. Capitalize on it. Capitalize on it. Make something unique out of your constituency so you can use it as an income generating venture.
Honorable Frederick informed that funding for critical intervention programs and projects is available from international donor agencies.
There are hundreds of millions of dollars for climate change. Hundreds of millions of dollars for nature reserve. Hundreds of millions of dollars to build homes for battered women, for children who are homeless. It is a matter of putting a team together and finding the donor agencies and tapping into the consciences of those donor agencies. Once you conceptualize your projects, it can cost $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 million. Do not limit it or link it to government's affordability. The money is out there. Go get it. It's there. You all are a local government. You all are an organization with authority. And so I urge you, let not your developmental trend or intentions be hinged on government's ability to fund those intentions. Do what you have to do and treat government money as la monnaie, because the big money is not here, it's out there.
The Anse La Raye Constituency Council is chaired by Mary Samuel, with Charles Gerard serving as Deputy Chairman. Lenshaw Marla Antoine is the chairperson of the Canaries Constituency Council, with Digna Herman serving as Deputy Chairperson. From the Government Information Service, Lisa Joseph reporting.
The Ministry of Education, Sustainable Development, Innovation, Science, Technology and Vocational Training has reported the successful implementation of Phase 1 of the reopening of schools in the physical setting, where grades K, 6, Forms 4 and 5 resumed face-to-face instruction. The ministry throughout the period continued engagements and discussion with stakeholders, including the Ministry of Health, principals and the St. Lucia Teachers Union. The ministry has noted the continued decline in the number of active COVID-19 cases, which has resulted in a general improvement of the national health situation. Given the fact that the necessary preparatory activities have been finalized, a decision has been taken to resume school for the remaining grade levels, including the special education schools and tertiary institutions, on Monday, November 8, 2021, using the face-to-face modality, which may include a whole school or alternate day approach. School principals will inform on their school's operation plans in line with the guidelines outlined in the Continuity of Learning Plan. Meantime, the Ministry of Health has provided an update on the management of the fourth wave of COVID-19 in St. Lucia. From July 25, 2021 to present, 7,044 cases have been noted and over 30,000 tests have been conducted. 50% of the diagnosed cases are in the age group of 25 to 49 years, and 57% of the cases are female. Active cases in St. Lucia are 334. The majority of cases are from Canaries, Grosley, Fiefor, and Babonneau. The Ministry of Health also continues to manage a COVID-19 outbreak at the Borderley Correctional Facility. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma George provided insight into the current situation at the respiratory hospital.
We recommend a gradual transmission into the high-risk services to ensure it is implemented in a sustainable way. We are working to prevent further spikes during the festive season. We continue to ask the public to work with us and exhibit responsible behavior to ensure our recorded COVID-19 numbers remain low. We are also working to ensure the sustainable school reopening for all of our children. Let us all take personal responsibility to keep ourselves and families safe. Our behavior as adults directly affects the education of the children at this point. We have available both the Pfizer and the AstraZeneca vaccine free of charge in country at the various wellness centers. These vaccines have been proven to be safe and effective at protecting persons from developing COVID-19, its severe forms, complications, hospitalizations, and death. The booster Pfizer vaccine is also available for persons who have had both doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine for over 3 to 6 months. Parents are also encouraged to vaccinate their children from 12 years and older. Let us make the educational environment safer.
Health officials note a further reduction in the transmission rate, hospitalization rates, positivity rates, and prevalence rates of COVID-19. This week, the ministry continues to facilitate increased social activities for fully vaccinated people.
There are presently 22 COVID-19 patients admitted to the respiratory hospital. 1 is in critical condition, and 4 of them are severely ill. The daily infection rate for the past week was 11.8 per 100,000 per day, which is a 30% decrease from the previous week. We note a steady decline in the rate of transmission at this point, with a present rate of 1.1. During that same period, we noted a total of 165 COVID-19 deaths, with a case fatality rate of 2.3%. Males account for 57% of the deaths. Today, Monday, November 1st, 2021, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs received a notification from the Caribbean Public Health Agency of 9 new cases of the Delta variant. All of the cases are nationals from the south and southwestern zone of the island. 6 of them are female and 3 of them are male, and the ages range from 38 to 79 years. A total of 54 cases of the Alpha variant and 31 cases of the Delta variant have been diagnosed in country thus far.
The ministry advises the public to remain vigilant and to adhere to the stipulated protocols. This is NTN Nightly. Primus Hutchinson is up next. Stay with us.
In 2019 and 2020 respectively, the government of St. Lucia passed the Public Health Smoking Control Amendment and the Public Health Smoking Control Regulations Act, which prohibits the smoking of cigarettes, other electronic devices, or any other substance in businesses and workplaces, public places like bars, restaurants, parks, and beaches, likewise in public transport, taxis, and terminals. We all need to be aware of these new laws and support the smoking restrictions to ensure our health and safety. Fines for offenses are up to $5,000 for individuals or $10,000 for business entities on summary conviction. In this era of COVID-19, smoking and exposure to smoking are unhealthy practices since they are associated with adverse outcomes for those who contract the disease. A smoke-free generation starts with you and me.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, supported by Powell on this station.
Welcome back. We now join Primus Hutchinson for the NTN Nouvelle Creole.
Monsieur, Madame, département qui a une responsabilité pour l'information en gouvernement cette là-ci, ça c'est GIS, c'est même télévision nationale pays NTN, qui a présenté une nouvelle en créole, présenté Primus Hutchinson. Ministre qui a une responsabilité pour l'affaire agriculture, la pêche, les forêts, honorable Alfred Prosper, déjeuner avec les officiers extension récemment en région 8 pour te voir pourquoi même avec situation les femmes et pour te tant discussion concernant situation les femmes et bien les cultivateurs qui ont conseillé à ce travail agricole à ce habitation. Selon le ministre Prosper, il est concerné pour ces femmes qui ont souffert pour plusieurs raisons, en parmi eux dommages cyclones.
L'année femme qui a souffert parce que hurricane Elsa affecte yo, especially ces gens fig like c'est l'autre c'est mon qui était une banane et bagaille comme ça. Nous quand tant côté ces femmes qui ont planté ces produits pas qu'un en boîte market côté ça dépend les marketing board est supposé qu'a fait ça. Mais là, situation côté marketing board pas acheter tout produit ces femmes. Nous aussi quand tant manière ces femmes qui dit y a un problème pour un monde pour travailler ba yo, la bouée. Vous comprenez? Bon, là on est femmes qui ont affecté par ces problèmes ça là. Ça décourager yo. Ça fait yo wonder espoir en secteur. Mais on veut dire ces femmes ça là changer that ministre agricole c'est about manger, c'est about pêche. C'est about monde qui a produit manger pour payer à ça dépend les et manger ça au produit qui contribue pour santé ces monde là mon comprendre situation ou adam because pièce femme pareil voulait planter les gym avec les pour vendre pas ça vendre mais si vendre pour mettre l'argent.
Ministre agricole là remarqué qu'il était plus intéressé pour te voir avec tant situation ces femmes avec les cultivateurs en région 8 pour comprendre plus mais ça qui a affecté yo.
Ça qu'a fait en région 8 ça c'est Besson, Badini, Badlil, Odsan, Marek ce côté ça c'est vraiment ça maintenant opportunité pour moi tant ça qu'a affecté et puis Besson sur ça c'est extension officer là dit moi savent problème ou pas des fois problème c'est les autres femmes c'est des fois en région mais c'est un bagage moi très concerné about et nous regarder manière nous ça oui travailler pour ça résoudre les problèmes ça là. Nous savons BPI travailler chai pour aider ces femmes africaines là. Nous savons marketing board qui a fait un gros effort pour acheter produits. Nous savons Massika aussi fait un gros effort pour acheter ces produits. Mais nous savons que en chai c'est hôtel la fermé et bien pas opérer à large scale là il opérer avant Covid. Et nous pas voulons ou décourager because ou pas voulons ou pas ça vendre et puis faire 50 $. Mais nous avons hope that à l'entendre pour venir nous avons résoudre ces problèmes ça c'est nous pour nous travailler pour garder qui manière nous ça fait là la vie primaire là venir pour production agricole.
Les officiers pompiers cette lycée j'ai trouvé pour mettre qui l'environnement travail c'est un qui gouvernement très concerné dit et qui ont gamme qui fait plus vite que possible pour régler situation ça là. C'est le ministre qui a une responsabilité pour ces divers départements des affaires de sécurité pays là. Ça c'est honorable Dr. Virginia Albert Poyot qui fait annoncement ça là. Durant une visitation et puis les chefs dans ces différents départements, les pompiers à cette lycée. Dr. Poyot fait référence principalement pour l'établissement qui est situé à La Raye, Mongiro, à Castries. Excellent Dr. Poyot, c'est officier très concerné. Condition grand bureau ça là qui a apporté un peu de l'eau devant la pluie. Et j'ai une cause en lot dommage pour équipement qui est bien cher.
Je suis là pour un petit moment, mais il y a presque 10 ans depuis là. et yo tape il et puis yo sorti là parce que yo vle en place ki primaire puis yo fait travail yo. Avec ça qui y a là, moi vle dire comme que premier ministre et puis même cabinet gouvernement yo dit pour dire si même là qui faire bataille contre des faits et puis ambulance travail avec ambulance là yo ka remercier yo en pile pour travail yo ka apprécier ça en pile parce que expressement temps Covid là yo fait un gros travail pour combattre COVID-19 pour mener numéro à descendre pour sauver la vie à chaque monde Saint-Lucie. So nous ka apprécier ça avec un l'honneur Saint-Lucien, peuple Saint-Lucien. Nous ka dire merci en pile.
Dr. Poyot fait comprendre ces chefs de département les pompiers le gouvernement considérer plusieurs situations qui ont affecté yo et qui ont l'autre qui critique ces équipements qui ont servi qui j'ai fait taille et qui besoin replacer.
Avec situation économique là de manière difficile mais le gouvernement a mis ces moun avant et nous regarder qui manière nous ça résoudre et soulager situation pour ces hommes et puis femmes qui combattre des faits et manager ambulance pour moun qui accident, moun qui malade et moun qui besoin support plus vite que possible.
Ministre des Affaires santé, honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, j'ai annoncé un protocole nouveau pour le mois de novembre 2021. Selon le ministre de la Santé, le gouvernement a comprendre sentiment les Saint-Luciens et qu'il mieux pour tout le monde tenir plus les champs libres à la situation de la maladie corona. Mais il pour considérer une meilleure manière pour balancer la situation côté pour préserver la vie du peuple là et en même temps pour balancer les champs libres. Selon le ministre Jean-Baptiste, il est plus concentré et puis pour ne pas mettre le pays à une situation côté numéro cas corona qui a commencé à vivre point en montant encore et pour porter plus de tracassement à ce deux pays là.
Avec ces protocoles là, qui a changé, commencé lundi 1er novembre pour aller jusqu'à bout de novembre l'année là. Et c'est comme ça nous avons changé ces protocoles là. Premièrement, nous avons mis pour Jean Saint-Lucie, où était en famille, où était la caillou, depuis lundi pour aller vendredi. Mais lundi pour aller vendredi, il y a 10 heures le soir pour aller 4 heures du bon matin, lundi pour vendredi. Allez, le week-end, ça veut dire samedi avec dimanche. Les samedis, les 6 novembre, avec les samedi, les 13 novembre, c'est comme ça bagay la ka aller. Nous avons commencé depuis 10 heures pour moun wete la kayo avec nous avons boutli 4 heures li lundi. Comme ça les samedis, nous avons commencé 10 heures le soir et nous avons boutli 4 heures le bon matin lundi. Aussi dimanche le 21 novembre avec dimanche le 28 novembre, nous avons commencé depuis 1 heure après-midi pour aller 4 heures le lundi. Encore on a dit, depuis 1 heure après-midi pour aller 4 heures le lundi, 4 heures du bon matin lundi. Comme ça, nous avons fermé depuis 1 heure pour 4 heures. Dimanche 7 novembre, avec dimanche 14 novembre, nous avons dit, moun, ça allait l'église, mais ni pour vivre la caillou, y'en est.
Monsieur, mesdames, nous avons plus de nouvelles et puis le ministre de la Santé a souligné l'autre présentation. C'est comme ça nous avons beaucoup de nouvelles là. Nous avons mis autant pour regarder, nous avons une invitation. Pour jeudi, puis encore, si tu conserves la vie, nous avons présenté à l'autre nouvelle à Créole.
Merci, Appeal Primus. We now take a look at the weather.
Winds will be blowing from between the east-northeast and east near 16 miles per hour or 26 kilometers per hour. Fair to partly cloudy skies with a few scattered showers. The seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet or 0.9 to 1.5 meters. Patches of low-level clouds drifting along a moderate easterly wind flow will cause a few showers across the eastern Caribbean region during the next 24 hours. Weak, unstable conditions over the extreme northern portion of the Lesser Antilles will cause cloudiness and showers over the Leeward and Virgin Islands during the forecast period. An area of low pressure is centered over the eastern tropical Atlantic. This system is not expected to pose a threat to our region.
That brings us to the end of NTN Nightly. Join us next time at 7 p.m. with a repeat at 7 a.m. You could also catch up with us anytime on the Government of St. Lucia Facebook page or YouTube channel. I'm Humedi Mark.